interview a lot of leaders. You've spent a career, of the past 20 plus years talking to the highest achievers in the network marketing profession on a regular basis. You talk to them all the time, from what, 50 companies, 100 companies. So you see this kind of common theme throughout all of these people. I mean, they say success leaves clues. And if that's so, and I believe it to be so, what clues? I mean, what did you learn in this process? You've had this unique perspective of being able to talk to, most people just talk to their upline or they hear from a few people. You've had the opportunity to hear from top achievers in every, major company in the world. What common themes, was there a number one theme of the clues to the success, the number one theme of all of the people that you've talked to? Is there one, if you could identify it?
There are 4 or 5 number ones.
Okay, well, give me the
you
4 or 5
can
number
handle
ones.
that.
Let's start with number one.
Well, I can't really give it a hierarchy,
okay,
Eric.
okay, just the first one.
It's like, it's elements that all fit together.
Yeah, got it.
One of them for certain is that I've never met a network marketing leader that did not work his or her butt off. And this business, we like to say it's a simple business. It's not easy. My experience is this is hard work.
Yeah, sure.
And that the leaders I've met, to a person, to a man, to a woman, they work hard. Now, sometimes we have a distorted perspective because we see them on this cruise, we see them on the stage, we hear they're in the Ukraine, they're in Malaysia, they're riding elephants in Phuket or whatever. And we see those snips of them. What we don't see is them on the phone at 1:30 in the morning when they'd really rather be sleeping. And that leads to another quality about them. There's, and I've shared this with you before. One of my mentors, a guy named Robert Fritz, he wrote The Path of Least Resistance and a number of other books. Robert was a professional musician, and his definition of a professional, which came from music, was a professional is someone who gets up on stage and gets the job done, whether he feels like it or not. That's another quality that I've seen of network marketing leaders. These are people who get out there and prospect and make the call and stand on stage and are good to their people and hang out long after they would have rather been lying down in their hotel room. They're still there, shaking hands, making time, taking time to be with their people when I know they don't feel like it.
So would you call that just dedication?
Yes.
Consistency, kind of. Well, I would just call it dedication, I guess. The one thing that I find interesting about your first one, about working hard, is a lot of people don't really know what that means. And the way that I try and communicate it to people is ours is an unbelievably repetitive business. One of the most repetitive businesses, unless you're on an assembly line, this is one of the most repetitive businesses in the world. And that is, you're just going to tell the story and tell the story and tell the story and tell the story and tell the story. That's working hard. You do basically, I think, 2 things. You tell the story and you transfer belief. And you tell the story and you transfer belief to other people. And you tell the story and you transfer belief. And you know what? You know what the hard-working folks that I've seen do is they just tell the story more than other people. They'll do it more times a day than the average person will, and they'll do it for the dedication is they're not hot for 1 week and then cold for 3 months and then hot for 1 week and cold for 3 months. So anyway,
well, I think more than an assembly line, an illustration or an analogy that might work a little better is the star of a Broadway play.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody playing the lead in a Broadway play.
Yeah.
I mean, it's it's Ibsen's lines. It's the same lines. It's Shakespeare every night, the same thing. What's different about it? What's different is the audience is always different.
Yeah.
And for us, the prospects are always different. even as well as we may get into relationship and partnership with our team members, it's constantly different. And
well,
so
the one thing I really like about that Broadway show analogy is if they're doing a matinee and it's half sold out, and there's half the place is empty and there's no energy in the crowd, the real professionals on Broadway give the same performance that they do on a Saturday night when it's standing room only. They put it out. They work hard. So I guess the connection here is if somebody's sitting down and talking to one person, they do it with the same passion as they would do if they were talking to 10 or talking to 100 or talking to 1,000. I mean, and those are the real pros, the ones that kind of
early on in my career, and I didn't come up with this by myself. I did it because someone gave me the example. I had a couple of home meetings that I gave to pillows.
Yeah, man, practice, it's rehearsal.
I mean, I gave the meeting to the pillows because that's all who came.
Yep, do it to the pillows, do it for the dog.
Yep.
Do it for the kids. That's called rehearsal. If anybody has ever had anybody in their family that was a performer or an actor or a musician or whatever, they know as part of that family, that person is playing whatever it is that they play to the wall for 100 hours before they think about playing it to a person. So it's interesting what people will do with their passion, and I love that analogy. It's very good.